Welcome to Education's Point. Best R interview questions and answer.
What is R? This should be an easy one for data science job applicants. R is an open source language and environment for statistical computing and analysis, or for our purposes, data science. What are advantages of R? It's important to be familiar with the advantages and disadvantages of certain languages and ecosystems. R is no exception. So what are the advantages of R? Its open source nature. This qualifies as both an advantage and disadvantage for various reasons, but being open source means it's widely accessible, free to use, and extensible. Its package ecosystem. The built-in functionality available via R packages means you don't have to spend a ton of time reinventing the wheel as a data scientist. Its graphical and statistical aptitude. By many people's accounts, R's graphing capabilities are unmatched. What are the disadvantages of R? Just as you should know what R does well, you should understand its failings. Memory and performance. In comparison to Python, R is often said to be the lesser language in terms of memory and performance. This is disputable, and many think it's no longer relevant as 64-bit systems dominate the marketplace. Write code to accomplish a task. In just about any interview for a position that involves coding, companies will ask you to accomplish a specific task by actually writing code. Facebook and Google both do as much. Because it's difficult to predict what task an interviewer will set you to, just be prepared to write whiteboard code on the fly. What are the objects you use most frequently? This question is meant to gather a sense of your experiences in R. Simply think about some recent work you've done in R and explain the data objects you use most often. If you use arrays frequently, explain why and how you've used them. Why use R? R include its open source nature and the fact that it's a versatile tool for statistical plotting, analysis, and portrayal. Maybe you simply love the assignment operator in R or feel that it's more elegant than other languages, but always remember to explicate. You should be answering follow-up questions before they're even asked. What are some of your favorite functions in R? You should be able to come up with some functions on the spot and describe them. Functions that save time and, as a result, money will always be something an interviewer likes to hear about. What is a factor variable, and why would you use one? A factor variable is a form of categorical variable that accepts either numeric or character string values. The most salient reason to use a factor variable is that it can be used in statistical modeling with great accuracy. Another reason is that they are more memory efficient. Simply use the factor function to create a factor variable. Why is R useful for data science? R turns otherwise hours of graphically intensive jobs into minutes and keystrokes. In reality, you probably wouldn't encounter the language of R outside the realm of data science or an adjacent field. It's great for linear modeling, nonlinear modeling, time series analysis, plotting, clustering, and so much more. R is designed for data manipulation and visualization, so it's natural that it would be used for data science. Describe how R can be used for predictive analysis. As a data manipulation and visualization tool, R can most definitely be used for predictive analytics. R as a whole provides numerous tools and packages for predictive modeling, so it's the right tool for a data scientist. List out some of the function that R provides. The function that R provides are mean median distribution covariance regression nonlinear mixed effects GLM. Explain how you can start the R Commander GUI. R console starts the R Commander GUI. In R, how you can import data? You use R Commander to import data in R, and there are 3 ways through which you can enter data into it. You can enter data directly via data new dataset, import data from a plain text, ASCII, or other files, SPSS, Minitab, etc. Read a dataset either by typing the name of the dataset or selecting the dataset in the dialog box. How can you save your data in R? To save data in R, there are many ways, but the easiest way of doing this is go to Data Active Dataset, export active dataset, and a dialog box will appear. When you click OK, the dialog box let you save your data in the usual way. Mention how you can produce correlations and covariances. You can produce correlations by the core function to produce correlations and conv function to produce covariances. Explain what is t-tests in R. In R, the t.test function produces a variety of t-tests. T-test is the most common test in statistics and used to determine whether the means of two groups are equal to each other. What are the data structures in R that is used to perform statistical analysis and create graphs? I has data structures like vectors, matrices, arrays, data frames. What is the function used for adding datasets in R? Bind function can be used to join two data frames, datasets. The two data frames must have the same variables, but they do not have to be in the same order. What is the use of subset function and sample function in R? In R, subset functions help you to select variables and observations, while through sample function you can choose a random sample of size n from a dataset. What is the use of subset and sample function in R? Subset is used to select the variables and observations, and sample function is used to generate a random sample of the size n from a dataset. What is difference between Laplace and Sapele? Laplace is used to show the output in the form of list, whereas Sapele is used to show the output in the form of vector or data frame. Explain how you can start the R command GUI. RCMD command is used to start the R command GUI. What is the role of variables in our programming language? While working in a programming language, the user must adopt variables to store various information. These variables are, in other words, reversed memory locations which serve the purpose to store data. Based on the data type of the variable, which can either be a character, wide character, integer, floating point, etc., the system accommodates memory and concludes what can be reserved in the memory. Unlike C and Java, in R, the variables are not termed as any data type. They are assigned with R objects and become the data type of the variable. Explain Studio. Studio is defined as the open-source, cost-free, integrated development environment for the computing language R. This integrated environment is written in C++ programming language and for graphical user interface, adopts Qt framework. Studio runs on the platform as a desktop application, and Studio Server at the same time are available in both open source and commercial editions. Thanks for watching. Education's Point. Like, subscribe, comments. You can comment your views in comments section.